Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. This week I'm showing you how I created this gorgeous romantic look on my model Victoria. As usual, I already prepared Victoria's skin and I will link all the products down below. So I'm starting my look using Limbo's Little Black Dress Foundation, which is a full coverage foundation which also contains SPF 50 in it. But for me, I like it for its full coverage. You can see how easily it glides onto the skin and overlays the redness that Victoria has in her skin. Once I applied it all over, I then go over with a wet beauty blender to push the foundation further into the skin and get rid of any excess that I do not need. And for concealer today I chose NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I'm going to mix these two shades to get the perfect color match for Victoria. I have already used this combo, the NARS Concealer and Limbo's Foundation in the past, so I knew that the two formulas go well together. And as Limbo's Foundation is full coverage, I don't really need a lot of concealer, just a tiny bit to brighten under eye area. Okay, so once the canvas are done, I then move on and add shadowing all over the face. For this, I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Foundation in color Mink. So these sticks can actually be used as a full coverage creamy foundations, but this shade specifically is a very cool toned brown color, which works perfectly for shading around the contours of the face. So as this color is very pigmented, for Victoria, I'm applying it with the brush. Usually I would draw the lines straight away, however Victoria is quite fair and I know that it will be really difficult to blend the lines afterwards. So with the light pressing motions, I'm picking just enough color on my brushes to then draw a really subtle shadowing lines all over the nose, underneath the cheekbones, and in the contours of the face, anywhere where I need to deepen the contours. Now I'm moving on to contouring the eyes, and for this I'm using MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in one of my favorite shades, which is Groundwork. This is a gorgeous brownish shade which can be used as a primer and also as an eyeshadow. So here you see me sculpting the eyelid. First I added the definition with a light brown shade from MAC, and now I'm adding the lighter shading in the inner parts of the eyes using NARS Soft Matte Concealer in the shade Chantilly. Now that my creamy eyeshadows are applied, I need to set them in place. For this, I'm using Florasis Phoenix Eyeshadow Palette, and I am duplicating all of the shades that I've already created just with the powder eyeshadows. I'm going to change in between several colors as I want this look to be very blended, soft, romantic. So I'm starting to mold the crease line and using these two brown shades, a lighter shade and a little bit more of like a bronzier shade. And I'm applying this on the top eyelid and the bottom eyelid. I specifically chose these colors for several reasons. First, Victoria's eyes are blue color, and as we all know, the warm browns will bring the blue in the eyes even more. And on another note, these neutral kind of brown shades, they will work on everybody, on the girls with a more fair skin and also for the girls with a deeper skin tones. Next, I decided to give a go to this frosty silvery eyeshadow. Now, usually frosty colors are not on my first choice list. However, using this palette, I thought, hey, let's give it a go. Why not? When else if not today? So I applied the strongest, lightest color in the inner part, but then I thought that was too deep of a contrast. So then I mixed in a little bit of a warmer bronzier, kind of silvery shades, moving closer to the outer part of the eye, just so this contrast is not too kind of a striking. And once eyeshadows were completed, I then decided to add a flick, and I actually mixed two gel eyeliners for that softer look. First, I applied the Bobbi Brown long wearing gel liner in brown, smudged it out a little bit, and then created a sharper line using Inglot number 77. I then popped individual eyelashes off the camera, and you can see the effect of the lifted eyes is really prominent now. I will also coat them in a mascara, but that's a little later. For now, I'm just brushing clear gel from Got2b through the eyebrows, and Victoria's eyebrows are super beautiful, so there's not really much work that needs to be done. So any gaps that I could potentially notice, I'm filling in with one of my favorite brow pens from NYX in the shade Blonde. I'm very keen on naturally filled in brows recently, so I'm using these pens often. And once I finish with the brow shape, I then move on and brighten the inner part of the waterline using Charlotte Tilbury's Eye Cheat Pencil, which should cancel any redness in this area, open up and brighten the eyes. I also popped Laura Mercier mascara, and now moving on to the blush. For the blush, I chose this Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Blush in the shade Corsica, which I'm dabbing all over the top parts of the cheeks, a little bit on the nose, sides of the face, and the chin, because I wanted to merge all of the colors together. As you remember, the foundation was completely full coverage, so it canceled any natural color in the face. And I'm sealing the look with Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Powder, which is one of my favorite powders currently. I just love how nicely it blurs everything it touches. So you can see under eye area almost like becomes airbrushed. Whatever is inside of this powder is literally magic. And of course, I need to set my creamy blusher and duplicate it again. So this time I chose a little bit pinkier shade, and I mixed in these two blushers from NARS. One is in the shade Sin and another one is Orgasm. And if you remember, the Orgasm has a slight golden shimmer to it. So it will break up our powdered look a little bit more and add a slight radiance onto the contours of the face. And I decided to add a little bit more definition to the contours of the face using Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Bronzer in the shade Medium. And I'm applying it everywhere where we contoured, really, just to bring a little bit of a warmer finish to the face. Again, as we canceled all of the natural colors by using full coverage foundation. The final highlighting powder I'm going to be using today is also from Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Pillow Talk, adding a little glow to the outer part of the eye and joining it in onto the highest point of the cheek. And for the lips, I chose this MAC liner in the shade Whirl, which is a very beautiful neutral color, and it suits Victoria's skin tone so well. I didn't want lips to be super strong. Again, the look is romantic, so this color goes really well. And then I also topped it up with this new Dior shade in the color Promenade, and both just worked so well together. And I'm finishing all by spraying Limbos Hydrating Spray, which will bring the radiance back onto the skin. And this is my romantic look completed, guys. I hope you loved watching this tutorial. We definitely had so much fun creating it for you. And if you do enjoy watching my tutorials, please leave a comment underneath so we do keep an engagement up. For now, thank you for watching, and I see you on my next one.